everybody, it's Zach from Zach Loves Books. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a while, I know. I'm back. Just a quick update on where I am health-wise. Right today, I'm actually feeling 100%. I was dealing with a migraine issue that I didn't know where it came from. Went to the doctors, got some blood work. I was also dealing with getting some back spasms. I didn't know where they came from either. And today I'm back to normal, 100%. So good to report that. It's good to see you all again. I've been watching BookTube as of late, and I've noticed that BookTube's getting dramatic right now. All of YouTube's dramatic. I guess people are trying to drum up some drama to get clicks or views. I'm just kidding. I don't think that's happening. But the BookTube drama that I saw was that, you know, there's some people on here saying that people don't do book reviews anymore on BookTube. That, you know, people do book hauls, book unhauls, they do shelf reviews, they do TBRs, but nobody does full book reviews. I was watching one booktuber saying that another booktuber says that he doesn't do BookTube reviews or book reviews, individual book reviews, because they don't do well on his channel. So, but I guess that defeats the purpose of being a booktuber. You have to do book reviews. So that's why finally, after all this time, I'm reviewing one of the last books that I started reading in Jamaica, which was like 3 months ago. And I finally finished it. So, The Goatwoman of Largo Bay by Gillian Royes, or Gillian Royes, whichever way you want to pronounce it. I just finished it. And this one, I'm going to give you actually 2 reviews. So the first review I'm going to give you is, I'm going to give you just like a recap review, spoiler-free, without giving too much away, in case, you know, you're thinking of maybe picking this up, going on vacation, wanting a good beach read, or wanting something set in Jamaica or the Caribbean that, you know, you would want to read down there because it's relevant to where you are and you're on vacation. So you want to read something set in the islands, or in this case, Jamaica. This is a detective story in a sense. It's like a mystery. At least they set it up that way. And so this is the spoiler-free review. So go ahead and watch this one. I'm going to create another video after this that's in depth, which I will talk about everything in the book that I liked, loved, didn't like. But this one is going to be just short and quick, you know, maybe less than 10 minutes. But in any case, beautiful cover, Goatwoman of Largo Bay. I tried to look up Largo Bay. I don't think it's a real place in Jamaica, though, you know, in the book they do reference actual places in Jamaica, like Portland and a few other places. Portland, which is, I think, a parish in Jamaica. But I tried to look up Largo Bay and I couldn't find anything. You let me know in the comments if Largo Bay actually exists. But in any case, just a short recap of this book. Basically what it's about a hotel owner who's from the States, who had a hotel actually in Largo Bay. And across from where he has his bar now is the island where his hotel was. It was devastated by a hurricane. So all he has now is his bar left on the mainland. And so Eric is the owner. He's an American. And he has a bartender working for him, local Jamaican guy named Shad, who's like, you know, one of the bartenders there. Eric gave him a chance. You know, he's hired him as a bartender. He knows everything about what goes on in Largo Bay. It's a small fishing village. So what happens is basically that one day they're just going about their business. They notice that there's, you know, some commotion on the island across from their bar, and they think it's a goat, but it turns out to be a woman who's just kind of planted herself there, and they don't know why. And that's basically what the whole book is about, to find out why she's there. And so that's the whodunit mystery part. So to be honest, I gotta admit, like, this wasn't my favorite beach read, or read for that matter in general. This was like being in Jamaica and waiting for your drink at the bar. It took forever to get through. You know, it was like I was on island time, reading on island time. Everything was happening on island time. It just, maybe, I don't know if it was because it was set in Jamaica or the author did it on purpose to make it move slow. But just the action wasn't there. I mean, the most action we got was like a gunshot in the beginning heard on the island. You know, there's some action near the end. There was some witchcraft, voodoo, obia involved. So, if you're looking for all that, you know, if you're looking for something set on a small Caribbean island like Jamaica, a lot of reference to Jamaican culture, reference to obia, the elections, you're gonna find all of that here. You know, bars, bartender, hotel owner, tourism. It touches on all those themes, but like I said in other videos, if you're not Jamaican, a lot of these cultural references are just going to fly over your head and you're going to have to look them up. Like, they mention things like the free zone. And if you don't know what that is, you know, you have to look it up. I mean, that's basically the free zone is like where they make garments. And Jamaican people come to work there. And it's like, I think in those places, the business people don't pay taxes, but I guess they could take advantage of the labor. And that's where like Tommy Hilfiger and these other kind of big brands get made. You know, it provides good work for Jamaican people because it's work, you know. And but I think they exploit people that work in these places. I mean, don't quote me. Look it up yourself about, you know, free zone work in Jamaica. I don't know if there's more than one there. There may be a couple, but I think it still exists down there. But it's basically like work you would find in rural parts of China, like just grunt factory work, you know, brutal. But that's what the plot of this book is around. It's interesting because since I've gotten back from Jamaica and me already loving Jamaican culture, this touches on a lot of things. You know, it touches on the elections, which Jamaica just had elections. I think it was the JLP party in Jamaica that won a third consecutive term, which I think is out of the ordinary from years ago because the PNP had a stronghold in Jamaica. It's very fascinating stuff if you want to learn about the history of Jamaica. And it touches a bit on here, like all of that ties into the plot here. The elections, a woman that's kind of jilted comes to Jamaica. She holds herself up on this island, and you know, the locals wonder why she's there. And so there's a few points of action, you know, that the plot is all built around, but I don't know if it's enough for me to even recommend it to anybody. Like I said, you'll have to judge for yourself. If you find it, I don't think you'll find this brand new. You may find it secondhand. You may find it brand new. I don't know if I would pay full price for this. You know, but if someone gave it to you or you have it and you're going down, read it. Your opinion may be different than mine. I personally maybe give it like a 6 out of 10. I want to give up halfway through it. You know, I kind of lost interest, but I said, I'm going to finish this. Because, you know, I kind of grew up with the reputation of not finishing things anyway. So I want to finish books that I start, even for my own sake, to see how they end. But, you know, even what happens in the end here is a little predictable. Maybe because I read The White Witch of Rose Hall, it kind of seems similar a bit. But you know, if you enjoy island culture, there's a big part of obia. It touches on obia here. Obia is like witchcraft in Jamaica. They call it obia. So obia plays a big part in this. And that's kind of a dramatic part near the end, of course, right? So that's what helped me finish it. And it's weird because if you watch the news recently, and I've been watching Jamaican news lately. I don't know why. Maybe because, you know, I just came back from there. I feel like I'm still there. But they even said right now they want to table a bill, I think, in Jamaica where they want to outlaw obia, or the practice of it, which tells you that it's a big deal down there. You know, that's what it tells me. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments if you're Jamaican. But it seems like, you know, the local obia man, you know, or obia person or whatever, which doctor in the villages has way more power than the authorities, and people are scared to even meddle with obia and witchcraft. I guess because to me it strikes me that Jamaican people are very superstitious. But yeah, it's not about a goat woman at all. It's about an American woman. And, you know, the story just kind of fell flat for me. Wasn't exciting enough for me. But if you go to Jamaica and you're on the beach, who cares if it's exciting? You're sipping rum and cokes. You may or may not finish the book. Does it matter? You know, you're down there just enjoying the beach. Mine's all waterlogged and all, but the author attempted it, you know, to make it climactic. And did she succeed? I don't know. It's her first book. Now, I mean, I kind of want to look forward to maybe reading her second book if she comes out with one. But like I said, if you're Jamaican, you'll probably like this more than non-Jamaicans. If you're born in Jamaica or you're interested in Jamaica, and you like Jamaican culture like I do, you'll probably also enjoy it too, because the cultural references won't fly over your head. But is it a great detective or whodunit mystery story? I haven't read like tons of mystery whodunits, but this just didn't do it for me. And this is one I'm not going to keep. I'm going to pass along. So that's the short review. Spoiler free for now. I may have mentioned one or two things that, you know, I could have not mentioned, but decide for yourself. Let me know in the comments what you thought of it if you do read it, and we'll see you on the next one. All right, guys?